Good day, everyone, especially to Ma'am Mel Joan Dizon. I am Ruby Jane Pau, together with my partner, Miss Mary Chris Taguan. We will answer 7 questions in Lesson 5. Without further ado, let's proceed and start the discussion. So the role of photosynthesis in plants is that it is used to transform water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide into oxygen and simple sugars that the plant uses as fuel to process food. Because plants are autotrophs, which means they produce their own food. So chlorophyll are green pigments of the plant leaves. Within the thylakoid membranes of chloroplast is a light-absorbing pigment called chlorophyll, which is responsible for giving the plant its green color. Chlorophyll is a complex molecule. A molecule consists of a central magnesium atom surrounded by a nitrogen-containing structure called porphyrin ring. All chlorophylls have a lipid-soluble hydrocarbon tail, a flat hydrophilic head with a magnesium atom at its center. Different chlorophylls have different side group on the head. The tail and head are linked by an ester bond. Chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. It serves 2 primary functions in the photosystems. Its major function is to absorb light and transfer that light into chemical energy. During photosynthesis, chlorophyll absorbs energy from blue and red light waves and reflects green light waves, making the plants appear green. The difference between chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B is regarding their part in photosynthesis. Chlorophyll A is the most important pigment used in the process of photosynthesis, whereas chlorophyll B is a secondary pigment as it collects the energy and passes it to a chlorophyll A. Furthermore, chlorophyll A is the green pigment who helps in absorbing light and providing in the process of photosynthesis. It reflects blue-green color, which brings out the green color in most plants and is regarded as the most essential pigment for plants as it plays an important role in photosynthesis. In chlorophyll B, it reflects a yellow-green color. Hence, we can say that the main role of chlorophyll B is to increase the absorption spectrum of organisms.
To discuss the role of porphyrin ring in plants, let us know first what is the porphyrin ring. A porphyrin ring consists of 4 pyrroles, which are smaller rings made up from the 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. And these pyrrole molecules are connected together through a series of single and double bonds which forms the molecule into a large ring called the tetrapyrrole. Porphyrin ring is considered an aromatic compound, which means that the porphyrin molecule is very stable. The model of a general porphyrin is called the porphin, which the molecule is only rarely found in nature as an intermediate, but it is a base of all porphyrin molecules. The role of porphyrin ring in the plants. The porphyrin molecule serves a number of a purpose in animals, plants, and even in bacteria. The natural porphyrins such as the chlorophyll and heme are the fundamental for the development of the vital functions of the organisms. In the particular of the chlorophyll allows the photosynthesis in plants, following the absorption of the light, which then transforms into a chemical energy necessary to the plant. For this reason, the porphyrin is considered an evolutionary conserved molecule. This means that because of its usefulness, countless lines of the organisms have used and modified the porphyrin to fit their needs. The nitrogen molecule at the center of the ring are capable of hosting an iron molecule. So the plants also use the electron to transport chain to produce the ATP. However, the plants have also mastered a different configuration of the porphyrin molecule, which allows them to capture the energy in sunlight. The chlorophyll is a special molecule designed around the porphyrin base. Seen there, the chlorophyll molecules has several unique side chains of the porphyrin molecule, and it also has a really long side chain seen coming at the bottom. These side chains slightly change the shape and configuration of the base porphyrin. You will notice that instead of the iron or the Fe, there is now a magnesium or Mg ion captured within the porphyrin. Unlike heme groups which contain the iron, the magnesium in the chlorophyll is not capable of transferring the oxygen. Instead, the molecule functions to capture the energy from the sunlight. So the magnesium ion helps capture the stored electrons during the process. So the magnesium ion also helps the porphyrin absorb the red and the blue light instead of reflecting the red light, and it does with blood. These cause only a strong green color to come through, which give the plants their green color. Photosynthesis is the process by which the carbohydrate molecules are synthesized. It is used by plants, algae, and certain bacteria to run sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into an oxygen and energy in the form of sugar. It is probably the most important biochemical process on the planet. So the plant requires light energy, carbon dioxide, water, and nutrients. These ingredients come from both the adjustment of the atmosphere and the soil. So how the light absorbed by the leaves? Leaves of all trees contain a chlorophyll, a green pigment that has the unusual capability to capture the light energy, and with the help of the other components in the leaf, it is to convert the energy into a chemical form such as the sugar. Many of leaves contain other pigment as well, and while these pigments cannot photosynthesize, a chlorophyll can. Some of them are able to transfer the light energy they capture to the chlorophyll. Phase 1. The plants absorb the sunlight through the two top layers of their leaves, the cuticle and the epidermis. These layers are thin, so the light can travel through them easily. The carbon dioxide is brought in from the atmosphere, and at the same time, water is drawn up from the soil into the body of the living plants. Phase 2. Just beneath the cuticle and epidermis are the palisade and mesophyll cells. These specialized cells are vertically elongated and arranged closely together to maximize the light absorption. Below the palisade mesophyll cells is the spongy mesophyll tissue, which is loosely packed for the efficient gas exchange. As gases move in and out of these cells, they dissolve in a thin layer of water that covers the cell. Phase 3. Inside the palisade mesophyll cells are the chloroplasts. They contain a chlorophyll, is the molecules that don't absorb the green wavelengths of the white light. Instead, they reflect it back to us, giving the plants their green color. Phase 4. Inside the chloroplast is where the magic happens. A light-dependent reaction takes place, where the energy from the light waves is absorbed and stored in the energy-carrying or the ATP molecules. Then, in a light-independent reaction or the Calvin cycle, the ATP is used to make the glucose as a source of energy. So the water is oxidized, the carbon dioxide is reduced, and the oxygen released into the atmosphere. Thylakoids are the membrane-bound compartments inside the chloroplast. The thylakoids are epicenter for the photosynthetic light reactions. They contain the chlorophyll for the plant, which is the light-collecting pigment. The thylakoid themselves contain the chlorophyll, but the thylakoid membrane, which is the layer that surrounds the thylakoid, is where the light reactions take place. Embedded in the thylakoid membrane are the two photosystems named the photosystem 1 and the photosystem 2. In each photosystem, there are different protein and slightly different chlorophyll pigments that allow for different kinds of light absorption. The thylakoid is the site of the photochemical or light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis. The chlorophyll present in the thylakoid membrane absorbs the energy from the sunlight and is involved in the form of the ATP and the NADPH in the light reactions of photosynthesis through the electron transport chain. During this process, the water is oxidized and oxygen is released. Thus, the light energy is converted into the chemical energy. It is also involved in the water oxidation of the photolysis of the water, resulting in the release of oxygen during the photosynthesis.